Good morning students, I welcome you all for the online class of economics. Today we will be going to start our new chapter of microeconomics, that is forms of market. This will be the last second chapter which we are going to start from the end. In this chapter, first of all, I want to explain students, as in the last years, monopolistic competition has been removed from the topic. Even oligopoly has been removed. This year also same is there, but I will be explaining you the basic terms and knowledge about monopoly, monopolistic and oligopoly market. Perfect competition will be the part of the chapter. So let us cover the forms of market. What do you mean by market? As from your childhood you are learning, market is a place where the things are bought and sold. If it is a vegetable market, vegetables are bought and sold. If it is a cloth market, clothes are bought and sold. That place where it is bought and sold, it is known as market. So in this chapter we will be going to learn that there are different forms of market. We always think there is only one market where the things are bought and sold, but the thing is that beside this particular things, there are types of market. Okay, on the basis of object we are knowing the market, but beside this object also there are different forms of market. Let us see concept of market. If we go to learn what is market, ordinarily an individual would answer this question pointing to a shopping complex, but for a student of economics this is not an appropriate answer. In economics, the concept of market has a special meaning. It refers to a mechanism. Just go on this. As for economics means for us, market is not the term what we have learned from our childhood. It refers to a mechanism of or an arrangement that facilitates the sale and purchase of goods. What we said, it refers to a mechanism or an arrangement that facilitates the sales and purchase of goods. This arrangement could simply be through telephonic communication or even through electronic mail. We are all familiar with online marketing, which is marketing without any shopping complex. In economics, market does not refer to any shopping complex. It refers to a mechanism or an arrangement that facilitates contact between the buyer and seller for sale and purchase of goods and services. So, in economics terms, market is a mechanism or arrangement of facilities that facilitate the sales and purchase of goods, that is known as market. Okay. So our term of market is clear. It is a mechanism or an arrangement that facilitates contact between the buyer and seller for purchase and sale of goods and services. Now we move to the forms of market. Okay. Large volume and small volume, you know, large volume is a wholesale market and small volume market is a retail market that we have learnt in BST. Forms of market, when I am going to teach you, first I will be going with the perfect competition, which is very important for you people as it is a part of the syllabus. Perfect competition, forms of market, the first category. First of all, how the way market is categorized or comprised. Depending on the degree of competition or number of firms in the market engaged in the sale of a particular commodity, a market is often described as one of the following forms: perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly market. Following is a brief description of these forms of the market. When we go with the perfect competition, it is that market or form of market where there is a large number of buyer as well as seller of a commodity. As we know, buyers are more in number, but same way sellers of the same commodity will be more. That market is known as perfect competition. Definitely in this market, homogeneous product is bought and sold and is determined by the forces of market supply and market demand. An individual buyer or a seller has no control over the price of the product because price is determined by the market force, not by the producer. So that market is known as perfect competition. These are the various features also you can say which makes and help us to know the perfect market or the perfect competition. Like the grocery shop, it is an example of perfect competition because only one shop is not there. There are many grocery shops. All are selling the same products, homogeneous like products. So there definitely their prices will be covered up by the market force, not by themselves. Features of perfect competition, let us see, and their implications. What is the result of there? A perfectly competitive market has the following features. Each feature is explained with reference to its implications for the buyers and sellers of a commodity. Large number of small buyers and sellers of a commodity. When we see, the number of buyers is so large that the demand of an individual buyer is only a small fraction of the market demand for a commodity. Likewise, the number of sellers is so large that the supply of an individual seller firm is only a small fraction of the market supply. It implies that no individual buyer, by varying his demand, can influence market price of the commodity. Also, no individual seller firm by varying its sales can influence the market price, so that for an individual buyer or an individual firm, market price is given. In other words, price is constant for a firm and for a buyer. Geometrically, it is indicated by a horizontal straight line. It shows that under perfect competition, a firm can sell any amount of the commodity at a given price. Briefly, it means that a firm under perfect competition is a price taker, not a price maker. That I already explained to you. As the price is constant, quantity demand is increasing. So that's why it is having a horizontal straight line demand curve. So this is the particular demand curve will becoming a perfect competition. Homogeneous product. Definitely in the perfect competition, when there are different sellers of the product, their product will be homogeneous, same or like product. Under perfect competition, each firm in the industry sells an homogeneous product. A product is said to be homogeneous when each unit of it sold in the market is identical in shape, size, color, weight, or in any other aspect, so that the buyer do not find any difference in the product or has sold by different firms in the market. It is a situation of zero degree of product differentiation. It may also be called as a situation of the market where buyers find product of different firms in the industry as perfect substitutes of each other. When the product implication, now I am going to read the implication. When the product is homogeneous and there is a zero degree of product differentiation, same means all the oils are of the same company or different companies, but a firm cannot exercise any control over price. Definitely, one person selling the coconut oil at 30 rupees and the same name product is sold as 40, we never heard. Even a slightest increase in the price by one firm will shift its buyer to the other firms in the market. Also, there is no need of for advertisement to promote sales of a firm, so that there are no advertisement costs or selling cost. Perfect knowledge. Buyers and sellers are fully aware of the prevailing price in the market. They are also aware of the fact that homogeneous product is being sold in the market. Accordingly, producers cannot charge different prices from different buyers. Higher profit through price discrimination is ruled out. Freedom of entry and exit. A firm can enter or leave the industry anytime. In order to analyze the implications of this feature, we need to understand the concept of short period and long period. Short period generally covers up within a 12 months time. Long period covers up to 3 or 5 years. Short period by definition is too short for an existing firm to leave the industry, as well as too short for a new firm to join the industry. Long period is long enough for the existing firm to leave the industry, as well as long enough for the new firm to enter the industry. Thus, entry and exit of the firm is possible only in the long period, not in the short period. Because of free entry and exit in the firms in the long run earn only normal profit, TR equals to CC or AR equals to AC. This is how it happens. In case extra normal profits are earned, new firms will join the industry. Market supply will increase. Market price will fall. Supply, why it is happening? When supply definitely as compared to demand, supply is increased, definitely prices will fall down. Extra normal profit will be wiped off from the market. In case of extra normal losses, some of the existing firm will leave the industry. Market supply will decrease, market price will increase. Now extra normal losses will be wiped out. So these are the various issues of having a perfect competition, student. So there is no freedom of entry and exit. Those who can survive, they will be doing an entry and they will be making a survival, and those who cannot survive with a wiped off loss, definitely they will exit the perfect competition. Thus, during short period, a firm may operate under any of the following situation. Very first, Either they will earn normal profit, either they will be earning extra normal profit, or they can earn extra normal losses. But in the long period, only one situation is possible, that of normal profits. Has to be a part of market, sell the product in the same way how others are selling. As the population is too much, definitely the product will be sold in every area, every corner. That for that we don't have to increase the prices or decrease the prices of the product. With a stable price, we can do the sale of the product. Independent decision making. There is no agreement between different firms in the industry regarding quantity to be produced or price to be charged. In other words, firms do not form trust or cartels. Accordingly, perfect competition ensures optimum level of output, that level of output where average cost for each firm is the lowest, and lowest level of price, the level of price which allows only normal profits. Thus, perfect competition facilitates highest output and lowest price compared with any other forms of the market. That is independent decision making, students. So, there is no agreement between different firms in the industry regarding quantity to be produced or price to be charged. In other words, firms do not form trust or cartels. Okay, orders. Accordingly, there will be a perfect competition, perfect mobility. When we talk about perfect mobility, definitely we can see these type of firms at different places, different corners of the country. Factors of production are perfectly mobile. They will move to that industry where they get higher prices. Accordingly, uniform factor price prevails in the market. Like TV. TV's cost is almost same depending on the features of the televisions. Okay. Of all the companies, same features, they will be having the same type of pricing. Little bit more and small, but not too much. That makes perfect mobility. Anywhere it can be sold, it can be bought and sold. We can earn the same profit at every corner of the country. That makes perfect mobility. No extra transport cost. Definitely for this perfect competition, no extra transportation cost is there. Buying a commodity from one seller rather than other does not involve any extra transport cost. This further ensures that any product producer is not able to charge higher price for the product. Only one price prevails in the market. 3 vital conclusions. Study of the features of perfect competition offer 3 vital conclusions as under. Very first, a firm under perfect competition is a price taker, not a price maker. Price is determined by the forces of market demand and market supply. We know, we are familiar with that, because here as per the demand, supply will be there of the product. A firm sells its output at the given price. Therefore, a firm under perfect competition is a price taker. It means it takes the price which is prevailing in the market. It cannot create its own price. That makes it is not a price maker. This is explained with reference to 3 basic characteristics of perfect competition. Why a firm is a price taker, not a price maker. Very first, large number of firms. The number of firms selling a product is so large that no individual firm, by increasing or decreasing its output, can make by meaningful difference in the total market supply. Accordingly, an individual firm cannot influence the market price. A firm is to take the market price as given in has constant. Homogeneous product, as products are similar. Why a firm will be having more price and why other will be having lower price? They have to get a same price. All firms in the industry produce homogeneous product, or products of all firms in the industry are perfect substitutes of each other. So that if any firm fixes its price higher than the existing market price, buyer would shift to other firms. The firm will simply be driven out of the market. However, here comes an obvious question. Why cannot a firm exercise price control by lowering its price? Answer is simple. If a firm can sell any quantity at the existing price, it makes no sense to lower the price. Perfect knowledge. Buyers are assumed to have perfect knowledge regarding product availability and product price. Thus, a firm cannot charge its own price even on the pretext of buyer's ignorance. Hence, it is concluded that under perfect competition, it is not possible for a firm to control price of the product. The firm is simply a price taker, not a price maker. Demand curve of the firm under perfect competition is perfectly elastic. Perfectly elastic demand curve implies that the elasticity of demand for the firm's product is equal to infinity, ED equals to infinite. It is indicated by horizontal straight line. As in figure number 2 you can see, it shows as price is constant, quantity is going on increasing. This situation gives a result of ED equals to infinite. It is indicated by a horizontal straight line. As in figure number 2 you can see, it shows that the firm can sell any amount of commodity at the prevailing price. But even a small increase in price would lead to zero demand of the product, because people has mere change in the price will shift their demand from this product to the other firm's product. So this is the nature of perfect competition, students. A firm under perfect competition earns only normal profit in the long run. Definitely, but it is very important for the survival, because if they will be thinking our extra normal profit, or it will arise a situation for them of extra normal losses also. So under perfect competition, a firm always tries to earn normal profit in the long run. This is owing to the fact that there is freedom of entry and exit under perfect competition. In situations of extra normal profits, new firms will join the industry. Consequently, market supply will increase. Market price will fall, extra normal profit will be wiped out. In situation of extra normal losses, students, some firms will leave the industry. Consequently, market supply will fall, market price will rise, extra normal losses will be wiped out. What prevents a perfectly competitive firm to lower the product price and capture the entire market? As our perfect competition is covered up, we will have some questions of perfect competitions. Our first question is before us. What prevents a perfectly competitive firm to lower the product price? Definitely, they will lower the product price has to maximize the market share. Because people is habitual, when the prices of some products will go down or it is stabilized, they want to prefer that product more. In that sense, more and more customers we will have, and more part of the market we can cover up. So why should a firm lower the price when at the existing market price it can sell any amount it wishes to sell? It makes absolutely no sense. Under perfect competition, there is a large number of buyers and sellers of a product. Each firm produces only a small fraction of the total market supply. It has a limited production capacity. Now, if an individual firm lowers the price, all buyers in the market will rush to this firm for supplies of the product. But by definition, the firm is so small that it cannot produce enough for all the buyers in the market. So it is better for them to sell the product at a prevalent price. Why? To reduce less, because their supply cannot be increased as compared to their demand. Differentiate between consumer demand curve and firm's demand curve. When we go with the demand curve, shows the relationship between price and quantity demanded. In case of consumer's demand, it is the relationship between price and quantity demanded by an individual buyer. On the other hand, in case of firm's demand, it is the relationship between price and quantity demanded of firm's output by the various buyers in the market. Quantity demanded of a firm's product obviously is equal to a sales output of the firm. Therefore, firm's demand curve also shows the relationship between price of a commodity and firm's sales or output. So that is the difference between consumer demand curve and firm's demand curve. Next class we will be going with the topic monopoly and monopolistic competition and oligopoly. After that, taking that one class, I will be explaining you the difference between all the forms of market, so that we can come to know what is the principal basis of market classification. That will make our class to be and has the perfect competition was the part, monopoly, monopolistic and oligopoly. If still now it is not in the part of our chapter, but we will learn, because for our knowledge, forms of market chapter will get completed only when we are aware of about this particular topics, all the forms of market. So students, next class I will be going to explain in short about the three forms of market, other forms of market, monopoly, monopolistic and oligopoly, and with the differences among them, how to be learned. Okay, and one more chapter will be left out. Our course will get completed, and we will have the live classes of this also, so that we can clear out the doubts and we can have the revision of the classes. Thank you for today's class. Have a nice day. Thank you.